Hey, everyone, and welcome to episode number 28 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media. And we are rejoined by our lone position player in the rotation, shortstop for the Miami Marlins, Miguel Rojas, who is joining us with a different look today. Where are you, sir?
From my locker room. Look at this. That's my fantasy football trophy from a couple years ago. You know, I'm always going to have that there to show everybody that, hey, whatever you put in your mind, you can achieve. You know, I never watched football growing up or anything. First time playing fantasy football, and I got that trophy. So, whenever you guys want some lessons or jump on my team, hey, Chris, we might gonna have to team up.
Then listen. You're in. The only league I play in is the Rose Family League.
Okay,
but it could be the Rojas Rose. You're like an honorary family member anyway.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. Yeah, I'll get you to our league, the Marlins league.
Ooh.
So I'll pay for it, and you're just gonna be I'm gonna be the owner, you're gonna be the coach, and you're gonna be making the lineup.
Full disclosure, as an employee of the NFL Network, we don't partake in anything where there's money exchanging hands. It is simply for a trophy and feeling good in life, right?
Okay, I get it. That's so I'm welcome in the Rose.
Yes. Well, you can win whatever you want.
Sure.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I just want to be able to win and just say that I won, because that's how we roll at the NFL Network.
That's great.
So
I like that.
There's always like one guy who thinks that he could be an NFL general manager on the team. Who is that guy on the Marlins?
Oh, definitely. It was JT Realmuto at that time.
Oh.
So, yeah, for me, beating Yelich and Realmuto that year, it was amazing because I was the one that he didn't know anything about football. I didn't know it, like the name of the players. I thought Dan Marino was going to be my quarterback, you know. That's how bad I was, you know. Like I thought Chad Ochocinco was still playing at the time, and I was so excited to draft him. But beating those two guys, JT and Yelich, they're always gonna have to live with it.
Oh, they still have the ass over it, I bet.
Maybe not the ass, but they kind of worrying about donating money to me that year for sure.
Yeah, that's good, dude. Yeah, you should just walk around, just point to your Jordans and be like, "This is courtesy of you guys."
Thank you.
Again. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, hold up your finger. Miggy.
This is what happened a couple of days ago. I'm recording today this show, and this happened 4 days ago. But I'm happy to say a lot of people have been asking. I know a lot of Marlins fans gonna watch the show when it came out. It's been 4 days, and I'm feeling really, really good already. You know, I thought I was gonna miss more time, but I'm working my ass off every single day to get back on the field as soon as possible. I'm not gonna let this injury kind of take extra time that I'm supposed to be out for, and that's why I'm here at the ballpark today, because I'm recording from here. Because right after this, I'm gonna go get to the training room and go to work. Unfortunately, things that happens in the game that sometimes you can't really control, and there's gonna happen anyways. But so for all the Marlins fans over there, I know I haven't been posting anything on social media or whatever. I'm focused on getting back to the field and just working so hard while the team is in the road right now. They're in Buffalo. They're about to play a series against the Blue Jays. So I'm here in Miami working hard to get back to normal.
You also can't type. So that's another reason you can't get on social media. Did you ever realize how hard it is to type with this thing?
It is really hard, but I use my thumb. It was harder when I broke my thumb a couple years ago. It was that was hard because left-handed typing.
Ooh.
I couldn't get to the, and I'm not like Nick, you know. I have my smartphone.
We will hear from Nick Castellanos of the Cincinnati Reds coming up momentarily, and he's going to be great. I'm just telling you.
100%.
Man, oh man. So how are you mentally? And I always have to ask guys that are hurt. Unfortunately, I've had to ask Brault. I've had to ask Archie Bradley. And now I'm going to ask you, because you are the captain of the Miami Marlins. How tough is it watching games?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially this year, because I had I want to be on the field, man. I want to be there every single day. I still get mad every time I got bench or not bench, like off days from Donnie, when he come to me and say, hey, we're going to give you a day here or there, like here or there, because, like you've been playing like 10 in a row or whatever. I still get mad every time I'm not seeing myself in the lineup. But at this time, it's extra challenging because it's something that mentally I didn't want to accept. When it happens, I didn't want to accept that I was going to be out for a little while, because when you did dislocate a finger, for sure that you're going to be out. There's no way in a baseball season that you can play with a dislocated finger with a little fracture. So for me, it's like I passed that point where I was like really sad, really mad about it, and feeling sorry for myself. So I passed that. I think everybody, when they get hurt, they think their season is over. Like I'm not gonna be playing baseball anymore. Whatever it is that go through your mind, but that's when you need a solid foundation. Your family, your teammates, your coaches. They're being so good, like texting me and trying to keep me in the loop. And I haven't been deleted to this group chat that we have with the lineup and like what we're gonna do for the day and the schedule and stuff like that. And that makes me feel like I'm still there with the team. But yeah, it's challenging because I need to be here in Miami when the team is on the road, trying to grind every single day to get wins. But at the same time, I feel like I have a responsibility right now, which is working hard and get back to close to 100% as soon as possible.
Is it difficult to watch the games on TV?
It is for me because I really enjoy watching what's going on live and being there in the dugout and trying to help any ways possible. But at the same time, I feel like this is a different perspective that the players need to feel at some point. You need to see the game from a different perspective, so you're not so bad or you're not so good. You know what I mean? To trying to keep that line even, and trying to keep yourself humble. You have to see the game from a different perspective. And I've been enjoying watching the game on TV because I can see another angle. But man, I can't wait to get back and be playing.
Is there anything that you can help teammates with by watching the game
Yeah,
on TV?
100%. I actually text Aggie, uh, Jesus Aguilar, a couple days ago when he was playing in Boston. So I know he's kind of struggling right now, to find his power stroke again and do his thing. And like I say, watching from a different angle, and watching on TV is different than watching from the dugout. So I'm seeing what he's doing, the way that they're pitching, and I can text him right away, and he can check it out after the games and see how they're pitching him and stuff like that. Or
Okay.
if I see something on the field, like we got a lot of young players playing in the middle. We got Jose Devers playing shortstop for us right now. Isan Diaz at second base. So if I see something on the shift that like the other night, um, I think Rafael Devers he was running at second base. He's not a base stealer, he's not a threat on the bases. Like I don't think we should have be like so close to him. And I seen I don't remember who it was that hit a ball that it went right through the chief, but it was because the second baseman was kind of holding on a second. And that's one of the things that you see from TV that you can actually like. I didn't text Ethan. I said it right to our infield coordinator and say, hey, we should be able to catch that ball if we're not holding the runner. So those are the kind of stuff that I still do from my house because I care about this team and I care about every little inch of advantage that we can get.
Good. Hey, everybody. I know Father's Day is right around the corner, and you're probably thinking, my dad has everything. What does he need? He needs something from Dugout Mug. So go out and get it right now. You got the Dugout Mug. You can get it engraved with whatever you want. My kids, they already got a freebie here because it already says Chris Rose here. You got the wind up as well. You got the season opener for Pop's favorite drink. And then you got the knob shots as well. Look at how cute that is. And oh, how much fun it is. So you go to dugoutmugs.com, use the keyword rotation. That is rotation. And you'll get 35% off your order if you're one of the first 500 people. But if you're some of the next 500, don't worry. You'll get 30% off. The next 500 after that, get 25% off, and so on and so on. I am here to save you money and get your father a great gift as well. So once again, that is dugoutmugs.com. Use the keyword rotation to save some cash. And then Pops will be drinking his favorite beverage. That's good. Show everybody what you're wearing today.
So this is what I'm wearing, man. Look at this t-shirt that I just got to my house the other day. Chris Rose rotation. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be part of the rotation, to be honest, man. It's been amazing because I mean the guys around the league, they're asking you for like how it is, you know. And I think we're getting more people involved. So we're just gonna be talking to Nick today. Hopefully later we can get someone that I wanna get is Javi Baez. I wanna talk to Javi about what happened a couple of days ago, man.
Is he in your phone?
It's not in my phone, but I can reach him for sure.
Yeah.
But
I love
talk
Javi.
to him, man.
And I love his energy. I love everything about him.
We need to talk
he's
to
a
Javi.
fascinating
He's one of my favorites, man. One of my favorite players and one of my the favorite shortstops.
Yeah, he's starting to swing it too. He's starting to get Javi hot. If you know what that means. Yeah.
The MVP caliber, 100%. For sure.
All right. So, by the way, for people that are on audio only, we appreciate you joining us. But Miggy's wearing a Chris Rose rotation T-shirt that is available at jomboymedia.com. So, if you want to get it for yourself or for somebody for Father's Day, make a nice gift. Go for it. It's nice and soft too, isn't it? That's the thing I love most.
Soft. I think I'm gonna work out on this after this interview.
For sure. So you're gonna sweat right on my face there.
Yeah, right here on your baseball card.
Go for it.
Is that your
I'm
baseball
a sweater
card?
Anyway, so that's good. It'll work perfectly.
It's Chris Rose baseball card from Jomboy Media.
It's the only baseball card I've ever had. I was not very good. I peaked at about 8 years old. I wasn't a very good player.
That was it. That was your pick.
Yeah, my last year of organized baseball, I hit 314 as an 8th grader, and then when we got to high school, the pitching got too fast, and I was just like, I'm out of here. I can't do it. Yeah.
You couldn't afford to get hit or something like that, and and be out.
No, I couldn't hit. You could have stopped that sentence after you couldn't hit. That's where it was.
No, I was more worried about you getting the reaction time to get away from the ball.
Oh yeah. No, I did not like getting hit by the baseball. That was not my thing. Can we talk about the amazing uniforms you guys displayed in that last homestand, the Cuban Sugar Canes ones? I mean,
man, do they really sweet, huh?
Oh, off the charts great. Off the charts great.
And the good thing is I'm here at my locker, so I can show you. I know a lot of people saw it on social media already, but
yes,
I mean, there's me like getting to see the jersey for the first time. But I did a little tribute, like this city, man. To me, I talked about it before, like this city is being so good and great to me, and the Cuban people here in Miami are so nice. People always make you feel at home, And I did a little tribute, something that I do every day, which is the Cuban coffee. I stop in stores and get Cuban coffee or cortadito, and the cigars. I don't do cigars, but that's something really Cuban. And I call this pair of shoes the Havana 305. So that's why I put Havana right here, and the palm trees and stuff. These are the pairs that I'm gonna be wearing during these games with the Sugar Kings. But to talk about the jerseys and the uniforms, amazing. I think the crown on the hat, really, really good.
This look is so good. Did it take somebody like, I remember y'all ripped on Alfaro for his lack of style. So when he puts this uniform on, does he go from like a 4 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10?
Well, the thing is, like, Alfaro was hurting and he didn't play with this uniform yet. So he's still ugly. He's still a 4. No, but hey, these uniforms, if you're not flashy or anything, it's gonna make you look good. Like, to be honest with you, the guy that he liked the most, this uniform the most, it was Brian Anderson. And Brian Anderson is the most quiet, not flashy individual. Like, he barely wear an arm sleeve when he plays, and he loved them, and he rake. that weekend.
So did his swag level go through the roof?
And then he started doing good. And I talked to him. I say, bro, you need to start like getting swagged up every single day to play, because you rake when you do that, you know.
Yeah, dude, those things are
Yeah.
awesome. And then the White Sox came out with their look. Did you see the Southsiders look? You and
Yeah,
Giolito are going to have like some sort of uniform battle.
yeah. I think really classic and really clean. I think they did a really good job with the white and black and kind of gray thing for the White Sox. I really like
Yeah.
them, but I mean, I can go away from the Miami ones.
No.
I'm flashy, and like I like the colors. So
Now, could I pull it off or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it too much flash for me, or could I wear it out and people be like, "Whoa, Rose"?
Next episode, this is your homework. I'm
Ooh.
gonna give you a homework today for the next episode with me on the Chris Rose rotation. You're gonna have to wear the Sugar King hats
Oh.
and the jersey. It's gonna be on your way.
Hey, not only will I wear it, I will video myself walking around town in it, and I'm gonna have
Okay.
people tell me whether or not I look swaggy or not.
Let's do that. I like it.
Oh, I am in.
One
I'm
number.
I might
What
even.
number you want?
What do you mean? What number do I want?
I mean, I gotta ask you. I'm gonna send you the whole thing, like Rose in the back.
There's only one number
Number
I want.
15, 19.
Who's my guy on the Marlins?
Oh well, I mean, if it's gonna be because of my number, you're gonna have to wear my last name. I
Oh,
want a jersey that is for you. You know, it's
oh,
Rose. Let's say you play for the Marlins. We sign you for a 1 weekend contract, and
yeah.
you can play with that jersey. What number would you wear?
Okay. Well, first of all, then you are not making the playoffs this year if you've signed me. I just want to let you know. I was always 14. I was always
Okay.
a huge Pete Rose fan growing up. And so I always wore 14.
Okay, there you go. So 14 Rose in your jersey for the
You're
next
awesome.
episode.
You're a good man.
That's
That
the
is so
homework.
Okay, we're in. We've got the always entertaining and honest Nick Castellanos of the Cincinnati Reds coming your way.
We will be right back to the Chris Rose rotation after this message from Cushy Dreams. You guys probably know Cushy. If you know Cushy Dreams, you're excited to hear about this. If you don't know Cushy Dreams, tune in. Cushy Dreams, we're in lockstep together. Jomboy Media and Cushy Dreams. It is smokable CBD. Looks like weed. Smells like weed. It's not. It's 100% legal. CBD. They've got some relax. They've got the hustle. Yeah, you probably don't relate CBD with hustle. It's got that side to it. It also has the relaxing side. It's got the think. If you really want to explore yourself, they've got all of it. It's great for anxiety. It's great for stress. You got a bum knee? Try out some CBD. You're going to like it. We have gotten a lot of feedback from people that this was how they jumped in the CBD game, and they're hooked. They love it. Cushy Dreams, they are the best. And if you get them with promo code ROSE, 20% off your next order. So it's not a first order. It's not a last order. If you're getting Cushy Dreams, promo code ROSE for 20% off. They've got the individual single serving pre-rolled. Go check those out. There's video of us smoking those if you're into that kind of thing. Or, I mean, they just serve them. I got one right here. I think me and BBD might be about to get our Cushy Dreams on right after this. Promo code ROSE, 20% off with Cushy Dreams. Go to their website, cushydreams.com. Promo code ROSE, 20% off. Try it out. You're going to like it. Get it for a loved one. Someone that's got a bum ankle or something. Feel good.
So you say you want to work in the baseball world that don't know how to get involved. That's where our friends at Sports Management Worldwide are here to help. They offer an 8-week course in several different areas, like baseball player development course. That's with a former baseball GM, Dan Duquette. Say you want to become a sports agent. Oscar Suarez, who is a longtime agent, is there to teach you a course. We've got a baseball GM and scouting course with former Dodgers GM Dan Evans and a 40-year baseball scout Hank Jones. And then there's also a baseball analytics course with Ari Kaplan, who's one of the gurus of analytics. In fact, that course was so good that current Royals manager Mike Matheny actually took it. So they'll teach you how to get a job, who to know, and how to help. And it's not just baseball. They can help you out with football, rugby, cricket, hockey, sports broadcasting. Maybe that's a course that I should take. Esports, sports gambling as well. So once again, they are here to help. You can apply for free at smww.com. Use the discount code Jomboy for $50 off of the course that you choose. So go out and do something today. You want to be involved? They are here to help. Once again, it is smww.com. $50 off the course that you choose with the code word Jomboy. We continue on with the Rose rotation as we welcome in the hottest hitter in baseball. He's so hot, he's got to wear a beanie in early June in Cincinnati. Yeah. It's Nick Castellanos. Nick, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. Just hanging out. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So Miggy Rose started this off by telling me that you live like 5 minutes from him in the off season. When are you guys going to hit together, dude?
I'll give you my number, man. Anytime.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a setup at my house. I just kind of hit and, alone, do my own thing. I'm too crazy for a hitting coach. So, you know how it goes.
This is one of the things that we should talk about. This guy, couple years ago, we haven't played in a while because so he got to the Cubs. I never played against him with the Cubs, but he was with the Tigers, and we talked when he was a second base. He was a mound visit or something like that, and we talk about that a little bit about like not having a hitting coach and kind of taking your own knowledge and everything that you learn about the years from seeing good hitters, from your own mistakes, from making adjustment on your own swing. And kind of like going with a guy that probably you idolize, right? Manny Ramirez. I'm seeing a lot of similarity, like a couple years ago, it was a little bigger. Now it's more of your own thing. But that's what impressed me about Nick, man. He took ownership on his own career, like body wise, he worked out at his own place. I remember talking with him about this, about having his own kind of gym, his own setup at home, and he just go there and figure out himself. Like it's no one else stepping on the batter's box for you, right? So for me, like that's something that you should talk about here for everybody, and knowing that you're taking ownership on your own career.
Well, first off, man, thank you for all that. Sounds really good when you clump it all together. But first and foremost, to say that I did everything by myself, that would just be arrogant. There are certain eyes that I trust, but it's really putting your trust in those people and that's it, So like, where I can lean on every time I feel like I'm getting a little bit away, I have just those same set of eyes. So it just is more consistent with what the information that I gather, because right now with all the videos and all the numbers and all the angles and all the scouting reports, it can be so easy to get lost in so much information that you just forget first and foremost that you're a kid playing baseball, right? So, and then what he said too is like learning yourself and learning your body and learning your habits and learning how you respond in situations and just being aware, right? So you can evolve as a player is so important, right? So the example that I would give is like, you can tell your kid, right? So like Liam, I have a 7-year-old. I can tell Liam to clean his room all the time, right? And he'll even do it. He'll do it exactly like I explain him to do it. But I think the goal is for him to recognize that first and foremost, it's his room, right? And he should clean it because his room is a reflection of him. And then if you take it a step further, once he spends enough time in his room, he can figure out ways to clean it that I haven't even thought of yet. Right. So I don't even know if that's an analogy that makes sense, but
totally,
that's kind of the way that I think about, myself and as a baseball player, because if we're not getting better, we're getting worse.
So is this why my kids at 20 and 15 suck at baseball is because they can't clean their room right? I just want to make sure I'm getting this 100%.
Well, it was. I mean, I was in the big leagues, and I still didn't really realize how to clean my room when I first got there, and that's probably why I was subpar, and inconsistent, and very easy to be influenced one way or the other because I'd rather have somebody else clean my room.
Let me tell you something. When you don't know how to clean your room, you're always searching for something,
100%.
When you continue to search for some things, you're never gonna get to a point where you're gonna realize how good you can be. If you see, like I like putting myself as an example because if you see my numbers throughout the years, you see my numbers hitting 100, 187 my first year in the big leagues, and then 220 or something like that. So when you see that kind of stuff, you only need to say, you know what, I need to find ways to get better every single day if I want to get to where I want to be. Same thing with Nick. His career, probably early in his career, he didn't have the success that he had now because he didn't know how to clean his room properly. So now that he find himself a way to do it, like I did. I didn't do it myself, like he said. Ricardo Sosa in Miami helped my career and kind of like make my career better, just because I find a guy that helps me and I trust his eyes, I trust his work, and there you go. You got a better hitter and a better player. Same thing with Nick, but I mean, I agree with what he say and the way that you take ownership on your own career and want it to be better, want it to be the best. I remember this guy saying on national media that he wants to be the best hitter in the league, and he accomplished that. 2 months into the season, he's a career low strikeout rate, less than 20%, and I think that's amazing. Why? Because the way that the big leagues are right now, the ways that these guys are pitching in a tough division, this guy is striking out less than ever, hitting homers, hitting for average, and that's something that you don't find anymore.
So I will say this, one thing that has definitely simplified my life a lot better is I got rid of my smartphone.
What?
I got rid of it. I trashed it.
Okay, why?
Because it was too much. It was too much of a distraction, and it was too much information, and I wasn't responsible enough and self-aware enough to make it for me to be using my smartphone instead of my smartphone to be using me. So I trashed it, and a lot of the clutter and a lot of the Twitter, the Instagram, the YouTube videos, the highlights, he's hitting good right now. What's he doing? What's he doing? This, that, like, I don't have any of that. So like everything is just very simple right now. I have, the games, which obviously I give my soul to. I come home, I have my wonderful wife that, makes sure the rest of my life is in order. I have my, friends, my family, and it's a lot simpler.
Wow.
And I think that, living that simplistic way, just not just baseball, but everything just seems to be moving just a little bit slower right now.
That's fascinating. So what do you have, a flip phone? What do you have, one of the old 1980s big mambo jambas?
Go grab
What do you
it.
got?
Show you.
Yeah, I need to see this. Is it?
By the way,
it Nokia?
$11.99, unlimited calls and texts anywhere in the world.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Hey.
And this, I think this is gonna be the best segment of this show ever, just because of that.
You want to hit 370 in the show? Go get yourself a flip phone, folks.
I think it's what do you want to do, right? Like, what do you want, right? For me, I want to be able to say that I gave everything I could to be the best baseball player I can be, right? I want not only to be the best baseball player I can be, but I want to also be somebody that can make the people around me better, because at the end of the day, I want to win a ring. So like, I would much rather, whenever it is that I hang it up on my own accord, saying that, like, man, I gave everything to this. So whenever my next chapter of my life starts, I don't have any regrets.
No, that's awesome, man.
That is so
great
good.
to hear. And just to that, he's not the only professional athlete that did that. I don't know if you guys remember last year when LeBron went to the bubble, he say, I'm gonna shut down every one of my social media channels and all of that because I'm here to win a championship. You know what I mean? And that happens more times that you think happens with baseball players and professional athletes. You got to get away from that if you want to be successful, for sure.
I am putting my phone away for the next few minutes, just in honor of that.
With your occupation, man, you need it.
Exactly.
What occupation is that these days, Nick? I'm not even so sure what it is anymore, but that's another discussion. I want to, so correct me if I'm wrong. I think when you were on Intentional Talk one time, you told me that your family took you around to Marlin. Didn't you meet a bunch of the Marlins when you were a kid?
Okay. So yeah. So, Alex Fernandez, right?
Yes.
Me growing up was an extremely close family friend of mine. My dad was their family doctor. They lived in our neighborhood. It was just a big group of like Miami guys, also Alex being Cuban, my family's of Cuban descent. So just a lot of ties and stuff. And then I would always be at Alex's house because, he lived in my, I could walk there, ride my bike. And he always had a big setup. So after school, not only did he have a cage, but he also had an infield. So my dad would come pick me up from school. We'd go to Alex's house. We'd take ground balls on his infield in the backyard. And then he'd go into the bat, and then we go to his cage. And that's when my dad would start throwing to me. And just about that time that's when Millar would be waking up because, he would crash at Alex's place, and Kevin would hit against lefties. My dad was a lefty. So sometimes we would go in and out, and he would hit off my pops in that cage. And, at the time, like, just, man, who's this guy taking swings from me right now? But, so fortunately growing up, that was kind of, that was probably really big in the early stages because just seeing Alex and being able to even like take swings with Kevin and being in the clubhouse with, all the guys that they had, Sheffield, Floyd, Kevin Brown, Rob Nen, I remember was there, Bobby Bonilla, just seeing all these guys. And like, I remember like, well, these guys are just like me, really. They're just bigger. So it's just, even at a young age, it just made the big leagues, that dream, it just made it real. It made it tangible, right? Like I could touch it. I could feel it. It didn't make it seem like it was too far away to grab.
So cool. That really is awesome. So tell everybody who you hit your first homer off of in the show.
Josh Beckett. What an incredible first, like, full circle moment for me right there, man. Because, Alex, obviously, after he even retired, he had all the hookups with, postseason tickets and things like that. So every single postseason game that was at home in 97 and 03, like, we were there front and center, cheering for the Marlins, all of it, and just to see Beckett do what he did during that 03 run. I think he was 23 years old, went on short rest, two complete game shutties against the Yankees.
Against the Yankees, yeah.
He, the amount of like newspaper clippings and just pictures and photos and signed stuff that we had kind of in my, like pool table room area where we would like hang out and stuff was all, Beckett, Miggy, Alex, Sheffield. So to be able to, hit my first home run against somebody that was so celebrated in my house is, you just can't make that shit up.
It's in Dodger Stadium too. I gotta guess that was 2014.
That was 2014. Yeah. I think I was like early April.
Early April. Yeah, I wasn't there yet, but I remember that. Hey, Dodger Stadium. You know how packed Dodger Stadium can get, and hitting a homer there against Beckett it's a big accomplishment. That's awesome.
So that was my second at bat against him. The first one, he punched me out with 3 fastballs and all just right down the middle. And I was so frustrated with myself because that was the first time like digging in, I wasn't even worried about the ball because I was too busy looking at Josh, and then
that can happen, man.
And then I remember like in the dugout kind of getting in the corner, like, all right, man, you got to wake up. Like, let's go, it's game time. And then my next at bat, I remember like he's not throwing another fastball by me. And I think that fastball was probably up by my chin, but I was just so ready to hit that I got up that I was able to get to the spot.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of guys don't remember their first home run because they black out running around the bases. Did that
Oh,
happen?
I remember everything. I remember that there was a meeting to the mound because Austin Jackson just hit a line drive double down the line to left, which set it up to first and third. There was 2 outs already, so it was 2 outs quick in the inning. I think Victor got on with a walk. Austin Jackson, I'm pretty sure, hit a double to set it up second and third. Then there was a pitcher's meeting, right, to go out to talk to him. And I remember like, oh, I wonder what they're going to say. Like, I wonder if he's going to try like a different way to get me out. And I'm like, no, forget it. Don't miss the fastball. Don't miss the fastball. And like, I was just ready to hit the fastball, and I got the fastball and I hit it. And I remember like, as soon as I hit it, like I went to go drop my bat and it got kind of stuck by my legs. And I remember trying to get over my bat because I thought it was going to be a double. And I'm just running. I'm like, get up, get up, get up. And then like it gets over, and I just remember like, just pumping my fist because I was jacked up.
That is so
Everything,
awesome.
man. Everything that you're describing right there is what happened, man. Unbelievable.
That is great. So I was chatting with Eric Hosmer the other day.
Yeah.
What do you think? I told him you were coming on the show. What do you think he said to me?
Good luck. I don't know.
He said if the guy gets to 3,000 hits, you tell him that he owes me one, like number one.
Oh, that I owe him? Yeah. Look at this.
This is your first hit in the show.
Yeah. First,
Hey.
so yeah. So it's crazy, right? He was my first baseman in high school. When I was playing on the left side of the infield, every time I threw a ball, it was over to him. And then he got his 1,000th hit, right by me. So it's just It's crazy, man. Full circle stuff like that.
So what's he saying to you at first base as you're huffing and puffing after beating that thing out?
He's just saying like, oh, well, at first we didn't know if it was a hit or not because they put an error on the board.
Oh,
yeah. So we didn't know. And then it was afterwards where he's like, man, congrats, man. Like, there's number one, first one out of the way. And I think at the time he had a great year that year. I think he like led baseball in like hits the second half. So he was already up and doing his thing.
Yeah. By the way, he also said you guys were the number one team in the country in high school his senior year. I guess you were a sophomore. And he said that you guys were in danger of losing, I think maybe the semifinals or something, and you hit a massive bomb, and then you hit one in the championship as well. He was like, he's the best hitter I've ever seen.
And you're talking about in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got really locked in for the postseason during those two. So, the early part of my sophomore year, I remember, I came in with a big head because I made like second team all county as a freshman, had like the highest average. So of course, when you're young and stupid, you think that success is inevitable nowadays, so I just got this game. So, the game punched me in the mouth pretty hard in the beginning of my sophomore year. I actually ended up getting benched. And that was like a huge thing for me. Like, well, that's it. My baseball career's over. I'm benched on my varsity team, going through it, man. Your mind is crazy when, the world isn't going the way you want it to. And I remember my mom gave me this book that it was called The Mental Keys of Hitting by Harvey Dorfman. You guys ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I heard. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I remember I was just walking around the American Heritage campus, just inhaling this book for like, 3-4 days. And then I was just itching and waiting to get like the next time I could play. And I ended up, we almost lost our first game in the postseason. And then our head coach was like, hey, you're going to go, like, you're playing again. Cause the guy who was playing for me was not doing very well at all. So I got an opportunity, and I just was like, I was lights out the rest of the time there, just absolutely locked in.
God, that's so good. That's so good. Miggy, I don't even know. I mean, we've talked about your background in Venezuela. You came to this country as a Reds minor leaguer at 17. Like, do you guys have high school baseball or what as a kid? Like, how do you get better there?
Nah, in Venezuela, we don't have like a scholar kind of, like when you go to school, you don't play in a team for that school. All you have to do is your family have to find you a place where you go play baseball. Oh. And then that kind of state or the city have some kind of like baseball team. So you play for that baseball team. And then if you're good enough, you start representing your city, you're representing your state, and then you represent the country. if you're good enough to get to that point. But there's like a really good competition. You can imagine, like in Venezuela, or every Latin America country, they have a lot of good players, and that's how I kind of I did my own thing. Like I went down with my grandfather every day to the same kind of ballpark in Venezuela, and I tried to get better, and the competition was really hard because kids were like a little bigger than me and whatever, but my hands were always good. I was kind of a pitcher and a shortstop, and then that's how I grew up playing baseball.
Well, you guys do have something in common. Miguel Cabrera. I want a good Miggy Cabrera story from each of you. Nick, let's start with you.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll tell you one of my favorite Miggy stories. First off, there's so many, right? And it's crazy. It's crazy now, me not being Miggy's teammate. How many lessons that he has taught me without saying a word, right? Because Miggy is a doer. He has no idea what he's doing, but boy, does he just do it. And I remember, I keep this little journal with me that, like, whenever I just feel like I'll have something or a thought or a picture or whatever, I'll sketch it out. And, it's 2018 and I got off to a good start, right? Like, I think it's June or whatever, and I'm hitting like 320 something, 330. And I just, life is good when your numbers are good. So like I'm sketching something and I'm looking out the window of the airplane, and me and Miggy always sat in the back. And, Miggy's very bright, sometimes on, he comes off as a jokester or whatever, but like when it comes down to it, the way he observes, he knows what's going on, or he knows what he's seeing. And he sees me looking out the window and I'm sketching on my journal thing. And he looks at me and he takes his headphones off and he goes, "Hey, just remember, what did he say? I got to go grab it. Hold on."
Wow. It's in the journal.
Yeah. And hey, I agree with this because my biggest story is have something to do with this too. But it's just Miggy being funny,
This is great. You actually have the journal with you. This is awesome.
Yeah, I've taken this thing everywhere with me since 2017.
This is amazing. I love it. You don't have to turn this in for a grade, by the way. It's the end of the school year, Nick.
Shit, I get an F. There's no rhyme or reason. Like everything, it's not in order. It's some of it's with a paintbrush, some of it was with a marker. It just makes it difficult to find stuff. But
so you want Miguel Rojas to tell his story about Miguel Cabrera?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a quick story. Happened this off season. Well, like Nick say, Miggy have so many stories. I heard stories that I wasn't like present, when he played for the Marlins. That it kind of impressed me, like coming out of the clubhouse without like taking a swing and hit a 3-run homer in Atlanta in a 12:30 game. That's one of them. But this off season, so we're hitting together, right? We're hitting in this in Sosa's facility, and Miggy's hitting, and when Miggy's hitting, everybody's watching. Like Nick said, he don't know how to do it. He don't know like what he's doing on his swing or whatever. But when he's hitting, everybody's watching. So Freddie Galvis just got to the cages because he's hitting like right after us, right? So Freddie got there, and Miggy stopped hitting and asked him, "Hey, did you bring your $50?" And he say, $50? $50 for what? Oh, you think watch me hitting is gonna be free? So he's asking everybody who's getting to the cage, asking for $50 so they can watch him hit, or they have to leave. There's not, it's not free to watch Miggy hit. So that's a funny story from this offseason. Freddie was like, well, I guess I'm gonna give you 100. So that's a funny story about Miggy this offseason.
All right, so here I got it. I got this page. So I'm looking out the window. He looks at me. I'm sketching. He can obviously see that like my wheels are starting to turn. And he looks at me, takes his headphones off, and he goes, "Hey, when you figured out how to walk, I was already running." and put his headphones back on.
That's a classic. That's a classic Miggy right there.
And
It's everything is connected. You see, like
it was so, but it's so true though. You know, like I was getting to a point where like I'm starting to see the work that I've put in, right? Like I'm in right field now, because honestly, the game slowed down so much when I went to right field. You know, I never liked playing third base. I was an amateur shortstop my whole life. I played, A ball at third base. Then I played musical chairs for my last 2 years in the big leagues because they were just trying to get my bat there. And then, then debuting my rookie year at third base on that team, I was nervous and the game was extremely fast and I was playing baseball very stressed out. I didn't know that at the time, but me being where I'm at now, I can acknowledge how stressed out I was playing baseball my first couple of years. So like I'm getting to the outfield, I'm starting to like it. Like I'm starting to like, get to a point where I'm not fighting to tread this water anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like for Miggy to see all of that stuff going on inside my head while I'm looking out the window, and then to say that comment is just perfect.
That's drop the mic material.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You guys both came up to clubs when you debuted as major leaguers that were established, right? And Nick, I want to start with you, but then Miggy, I want you to give your thoughts on joining the Dodgers in 2014 when you did. But Nick, when you got there, it was Miguel Cabrera, it was Justin Verlander, it was Max Scherzer, it was Torrey Hunter, it was Victor Martinez. Hell, Jim Leland was blowing heaters and
Prince Fielder.
Prince.
Then Rick Porcello, Doug Fister, Jose Valverde came up, I think that September. Octavio Dotel.
Weren't you nervous?
Who's our second baseman, Matt?
Omar Infante.
Omar Infante. Was I nervous? This is gonna sound stupid, but no, I wasn't nervous because I'm very unaware of my surroundings. Naturally, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. So my learning curve is usually a little bit longer, but when I can get something, I usually can stick with it. I mean, it was just a lot to deal with, to have that many people that were that famous and that, that established and that successful. But the biggest lesson that I got from all of that, being that far removed from it, was those teams never won. As good as they were, they never did what they were supposed to do, which was to bring happiness to the people of Detroit.
They got close, Nick.
Close, but they did not get the cigar at the end. And as an organization, as a fan, like, to bring it all the way home, that's what is most important, right? The only thing I can compare is 97 and 03. And I know, I'll just talk about it from like a Marlins organizational standpoint. Everybody says that the Marlins are tough to play for just because there's no fans and doesn't really show up or this or that, but like, I know what South Florida sounds like in the World Series. I know what the city
when you're winning. Yeah.
I know what the city sounds like, after you've won. I know what the conversations in the restaurants are like. I know what the conversations in the grocery stores are like. I know even at Little League parks, right? It's just something that can't be explained how, in any sport really, when you come together and you win, what that can do for even people who are not involved in sports. Look at Cleveland when the Cavaliers got their first championship,
Hell yes, dude. I've told this story before. My kids were 16, almost 16 and 11 at the time, almost. And I looked at them and I said, I'm so happy for you because you don't have to go through the shit that I had to go through. I mean, I was 46 years old when the city won its first championship since I'd been alive. 46. Like, that's years and years of heartache. I'm so happy that you got it not in 97. That kind of sucks, Nick. That broke my heart.
Sorry about that. I was 5, so I didn't really know what was going on. But I was at that game, and
You were in Game 7?
Yeah, I was at Game 7 with my mom. And I was supposed to go with my dad, but I think my dad had to do some residency thing. My dad's a doctor, so he had to do something that was important. And I was there with my mom, and I remember making signs for the game and stuff. And I actually remembered that I fell asleep in the middle of the game, but I woke up when Bonilla hit a home run because it erupted. And then I was awake again, and I remember Renteria getting the base hit up the middle and, Counsell running in and like jumping up. And like, I just remember everybody losing their shit, it's just crazy images that are just implanted in my mind that will never go away.
And then Jim Leland ends up being your first skipper. Do you have to run out and buy him some heaters like at midnight? Hey, Nicky,
no, I didn't have to do that, but I did continuously have to call my father and put him on the phone for him, because my dad being a pulmonologist, anytime that he had a question, he was, hey, get your old man on the phone. Dad, Leland wants to talk to you. He'd ask him questions just about the cigarettes or this or that or what he should do, and you know how it goes.
How many heaters would he go through in a game?
A lot. And you know what? He had it such down to a science too, that he would tuck the cigarette up under here, right? So like he's walking around and he'd have full conversations with you, and then he'd kind of do one of these, and you don't even know if he thought he was like biting his nails or something, and then he'd tuck it away. And then as he's talking to you, there's just a little bit of smoke just trickling out of his mouth. There was never an exhale.
Oh, that's pro.
That's awesome, man. That's really pro.
We got a few more minutes with Nick Castellanos, and we really appreciate his time today. I want to get both your opinions on this because I've been talking to pitchers over the last several weeks, ever since all the foreign substance stuff really blew up. Like JT Realmuto came out and put his name on it. I've gotten the pitcher's viewpoint. I got 2 hitters here.
Okay.
Miguel, I start with you, and then Nick, I want you to follow. Is it a major, major problem in the sport? Is it affecting the way that guys are hitting with what pitchers are doing, loading up the baseball, allegedly?
All right, man, you can go first.
Yeah, my thing right here, and I want to be short because I don't want to be talking about this too much because I get frustrated, is that, we've been hitting for so many years, right? And then we're seeing something this year that is the boys doing so many different things that we're not accustomed to hit, like we're not ready to hit these balls moving that way, the only thing that I gotta say is we have to come to a point where everybody's doing the same thing, My problem is when more and more people are trying to search for something different that make them better than other guys that are not working with the same stuff. That's my only problem and my only concern. It's harder to hit because of that. I'm not gonna say yes, it's harder to hit because it's already hard to hit. Sometimes they can throw 88 right down the middle with no spin or no RPMs or not anything, and you're just gonna miss it because you suck. But with all this stuff that we're seeing, especially this year, and it's not just me, it's the guy next to me, Aguilar is next to me talking about it. The other guys are talking about it in first base when I got there, Then I think it's a problem. It's harder to hit that way because we're not adjusted to hit those balls moving that way. That's all I have to say.
Here's my thing, right? I look at it from more of a logical standpoint. Is it illegal or is it not illegal to put stuff on the ball?
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
The league obviously knows that they're doing it, but the league doesn't care. They don't care, because if it was really a problem that they wanted, they would figure out how to they'd put people in the bullpen to check gloves, to check hats, to whatever, like the league would do something about it. But honestly, I don't think it's that much I don't think it's that important to them,
Should it be, Nick?
Listen, if I truly start speaking my mind, I usually get in trouble, but it's just the league has to figure out if it wants it to be illegal or not and stick by it, like and then for the pitchers to say, you know, like, oh, well, we need it for control so we don't hit you in the head, you know, fine, drill me. I'm on first base. That helps my OPS and I get paid for that. You know, sacrifice some velocity for some control. You know, but if the league just says like, oh, you know, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing that, but you see pitchers, just tell us that you don't give a shit. So at least we as hitters, we know, you know, because it's obvious, you know, you can see the pitchers that go to their spots or go to their things and go to their gloves and go to their whatever, you know. So I honestly don't pay much attention to it, you know. Everybody else bitches about it, but just my frame of mind right now, the moment that I start bitching about it, I give them an advantage, and I don't want to give these dudes not one slight advantage over me. So sticky shit, no sticky shit, throw it over the dish. It's gonna get hit hard.
So that's 100% right, and I agree with that. The only thing is, I want some kind of like equality, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is like, hey, this rosin back and sunscreen, it's been around forever, right? So you know, pitchers are doing it. Pitchers put some sunscreen on their arms or whatever, or wrist or neck or whatever it is, with some rosin back, and that's being like that's legal because they help like for controlling and to throw the ball over the plate and do whatever they need to do to paint the corners or whatever. But what is crossing the line, you know? What is doing like Coca-Cola shit, you know?
I'm not gonna throw names under the bus, but like, yo, teammates that I've had, they're like, yo, Nick, check this out. And they tap the ball and the ball stuck to their finger like this. And they're going like that, and it's not coming off their hand. You know? So like it's out there. And to say that it doesn't help is a lie. It's a huge difference, you know? You know, Trevor did a phenomenal job of just explaining how important spin rate is and how much of a difference it can have on careers, how much difference it can do just pitch to pitch, you know. Like, Trevor's controversial, but he's real and he's right on the money and he's super educated. So you're not going to be able to bullshit him and get him off of the point that he's trying to make, you know. And I think it just comes down to, honestly, Miggy and Chris, that the league doesn't care. It's not a problem that they feel like they need to fix, you know. Offense is down, right?
Mm-hmm. It's the worst batting average we've seen in over 50 years.
So let me ask you this. What's the time of the games? Are the time of the games shorter or longer?
I mean,
they gotta be the same or longer.
Yeah, they don't feel any shorter.
They don't feel no shorter?
I don't know. Listen, I think we're all in agreement that something needs to change. And this is one of the things. I was disappointed baseball didn't come out with a response after 24 hours. After that column came out, they should have at least said, we understand
what was the column? I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, so it was talking about, there were some unnamed people talking about how this is devastating for the sport, that everybody knows that people are doing it, that some guys have made millions and tens of millions, and in some cases hundreds of millions
of dollars,
right?
Multiple hundreds of millions of dollars,
no question. Yes. But then JT Realmuto, a catcher, arguably the best one in the league, came out and said, guys, we got to do something. This is a major epidemic. That's where it changed, when an all-star catcher puts his name on it, because he's dealing with both sides of it, having to hit it and having to catch it. So that's really where this all came from. I hope they change something in the offseason. I know there's a lot of issues between players and owners. This has got to come together.
Well, you got to also know, batting average too is also at an all-time low, and hitting's at an all-time low, and all of these statistics, right? Like the no hitters, that's also because you're starting to see the effects of one-dimensional swings in the big leagues.
Yes, no question.
You know, like we get these drive line people, the analytic people of the perfect throw, the perfect swing, and all this other stuff, and you're taking away the individuals of competing in the moment. You know, like, my batting stand changes sometimes from pitcher to pitcher because I have the freedom of competing to just doing what I feel is right in the moment to beat this dude. And it doesn't always look the same and it doesn't always feel the same, but it's competition, you know? And I think that, you know, all of these young kids, they want to get to the big leagues, so they listen, they conform, you know, so you have sticky shit on the ball that they're pumping cheese, and you have these K-vest uppercut launch angle swings, and I'm not shocked at, you know, the stuff that's happening now with the no hitters, and I don't even know that the batting average was as low as it was, but to me it makes complete
total sense.
You know,
it was. By the way, Miggy's manager Don Mattingly, who won an MVP in the '80s, came out and said at times it's unwatchable. He's like, and this is what we're dealing with, because 15 years ago we were teaching guys how to swing this way.
You mean 15 years ago we were teaching guys how to swing which way? Like the way that's
the way that we are today, the way that the hitting approach is, what you were just talking about.
Well, I think that the hitting approach is to hit the ball over the fence. That's the hitting approach. That's like the hitting approach is that an approach?
It is. I think for me, it's your own career. You know, like I'm not taking that approach because I know I can't really hit the ball.
100% what Miggy said. It's your own career, but a lot of players, and especially the young players, don't even understand that, because they're too busy listening to their coaches because they want to stay in the big leagues. You know, so you get a lot of players who are in and out of the sport before they even are able to grasp who they are, how they go about their business, and how they can help a team win. Mm-hmm. Right?
100%.
But again, you know, like we're told how to swing, we're told where to play, you know, we're told everything is done for us. So we're pieces to plug in and plug out. And a lot of the baseball instincts of players are going away because analytics are taking the place of them. You know, and that's a problem for the soul of a baseball player. You know, but and a lot of they don't even really know what's happening because their lifespan in the sport has been so small.
So, you know, that's a great point.
And that's the biggest advice. That's the biggest advice for kids watching this, especially kids playing in high school and in college. You know, like don't let whatever they saying, the analytics saying, take your like part of the game away. You know, that's I agree with analytics. You know,
100%. And there's a place for analytics in the game. I think that it can give a team an advantage to win. You know. But from the development standpoint too, these coaches and these people that come, they're teaching first round picks with so much talent. And like, these guys have never played baseball, right? They can explain to you how to build your bike. But when you get to the big leagues, you're supposed to have your bike built. Now you need people to keep you on your bike and riding. If you're in the big leagues and you're worrying about building your bike, that's something to do in the minor leagues. You know, the big leagues is about winning. It's about success. It's about camaraderie. It's about, you know, it's about winning, you know, and it's crazy because now more than ever, I feel like the big leagues is a developmental stage rather than like, this is where we come to win for this city, right? For these fans.
It's fascinating. No,
you know,
it's really important what you're talking about.
But I want people to just know what's happening, because it's like, I think winning has taken a back seat because it's, you know, I think it's amazing how on MLB Network, on every game on the ticker, you have gambling odds.
Well, that's something new. Welcome to the business world.
You know, but what are we in this business for?
Well,
you know, like what's the bottom line?
It depends. I mean, a lot of it is a $10 billion a year business. It is a business first and foremost. The great thing about it for us as fans is we root for you at the end of the day. I want you to do great, or I want you to do crappy because you're playing my team. And that's like the fun part of it. That is the fun part. Isn't it fun to get booed in a visiting stadium?
So my favorite place to play right now on the road is St. Louis for that very reason.
Oh, they like you there.
Walking up to
the fans are into it every day.
Walking up to the plate and getting booed is the best, because I'm like, man, they're booing louder for me than they're cheering for Arenado. And for me, like, I remember Tommy was at second. He's like, man, is the booing getting old? I'm like, no way, man, this is amazing. Because I view that as a sign of, unless why you're getting booed, because if you're getting like, you got booed because you got caught with, steroids, or you got, booed for something. But if you're getting booed because you're playing hard and like you're beating their team, hats off. That's as much respect as you can get, from an opposing organization.
Yeah, you're gonna get booed there for a long time, man.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It makes it fun.
Hey, I do want to ask you this. I know that you don't have a smartphone anymore, and I don't want to talk about the suspension because it was bullshit. But did you know how much support you had from fans around the world, baseball world, for that?
So, Jessica would tell me certain things, like, hey, like, oh, these people got your back or whatever. But a lot of times when she starts going down, I'm like, yo, like, I just like stop. Cause like that's that's a stream that I don't want to be allowed in here, but it is what it is. I mean, it sucked, man, getting suspended, because a big goal of mine was to play 162, every game this year. So, the fact that, I didn't do anything aggressive. I didn't throw a punch. I didn't grab nobody. The only thing I did was I just really wanted to make sure that this dude who hit me, whether or not it was on purpose, was besides the point. It just looked suspicious from the time and place and the circumstance. So I really wanted that dude's ERA to go up because he decided to hit me. That's it. And I said, let's fucking go. And I was walking away, so to be the only person ejected and suspended and fined $10,000 I found ridiculous. Amir Garrett got fined $8,000 for fighting the entire Pittsburgh dugout. Gary Sanchez in 2017 threw 2 sucker punches to me and 2 sucker punches to Miguel when we were on the floor helpless, and he got 2 games and suspended less money than that. So like all of these malicious, where I look at like these people are doing stupid shit and they're getting less of a punishment than me, where I was just excited to win and compete and showing emotion that I'm excited, I just thought was the wrong way and the wrong message. But Chris, let me also tell you this, that there was no conclusion that wanted to come, because in the hearing that I had, I was asking Michael Hill questions, I was asking the other lawyer questions, and any single time that I would try to come to an understanding of their reason and I wanted an answer, or they didn't want to find common ground, right? The system's set up where it's like, I'm just going to read a long paper on saying why I'm right. Then you're going to read a long paper while saying you're right. You're going to throw a little dag at me. And then I'm going to read why you're wrong. And then I'm going to throw another dag at you while you're wrong. And I just had to listen to that for an hour. So it's like, there wasn't coming to an understanding of the situation and explaining and, moving forward as players. That wasn't the priority. The priority was just go through the motions. This is my argument. That's your argument. This is my argument. This is your argument. And then we'll make our decision.
They see it as black and white. That is a tough way to live. It's a shitty way to live, in my opinion. Real quickly, you and Yachty good? You and Yachty good?
Yeah, I have no problems with Yachty.
Well, you had the quote of the year. You had the quote of the year. I just, for people, this is the best thing ever. And you had to smile after saying this. This is great.
But like I said, that guy could have punched me in the face. I still ask him for a signed jersey. But, I got nothing but respect for that cat, bro. He's a real one. He said his piece, and I listened. That's it.
I mean, but that's honestly, it's true, man. The reason why he gets so worked up and the reason why he was, yelling at me or whatever, because he did that, that's the same fire that has gotten him 2,000 games caught in the big leagues. That's the same reason why he's led these pitching staffs to a World Series. That's the same reason why St. Louis has tasted champagne twice since that dude's been behind.
That guy have to have his players back and his pitchers back. That's something that's going to happen.
I 100% understand it. I understand it. That's why when I don't know if you can find the video, but when I went to go talk to him afterwards, I put my hands behind my back just so he knew that I'm not looking for no physical altercation here. At the end of the day, I did what I wanted to do. I scored. You know, I scored. Not only did I get to score off of a pitcher that drilled me, but it's also cool that I got to score on a pass ball from a Hall of Fame catcher. Right? So fantastic. So I'm in there. We're up. We're winning. I did exactly what I wanted to do. All right, cool. I said, let's fucking go. You didn't like it. You don't have to like it. You know, you don't have to like it, but that's just how I felt in the moment. I'm not going to swing at the dude. I'm not going to insult him. I'm not going to, you know, do anything. I did what I got to do. And now I was walking back to the dugout. So, you know, I just think that, you know, it was unfortunate that I got ejected. Sucked even more that I got suspended. Sucked even more I had to pay $10,000 for that. But, you know.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
We got strict parents, I guess, here at you know, at Major League Baseball.
Did you get to sign jersey or no?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I have not yet. But I gotta ask for one.
All right. We're gonna end it on a little levity. This is the wheel of moderately interesting things. You guys both get to answer this as we spin it. Job fair. What is the one job you would be great at inside of the stadium, but you are not allowed to be in uniform? So you can't be the manager, you can't be a player, you can't be a bench coach. Give me one job in baseball where you're in the stadium. It could be anything. Get creative on it. What's the one thing you'd love to do?
Mental skills.
Ooh. Mental
Psychologist.
skills. You've given us mental skills over the last 40 minutes. This has been great.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, really good. I think, and that's the thing. Like, not so many teams have like former players with like mental skills talking to their, you know, to their own players.
Yeah, but I don't think they want that. I think in the business aspect, I think in the business aspect, they look at wisdom and experience in the baseball field as intimidating because you can't quantify that and put a price tag on it.
No, that's right.
Miggy, what would you want to be?
I don't know, man. I think I'll be selling popcorn and like, you know, I don't really know, because if I can be managing or having a uniform on, no, I gotta say I'll be in the front office helping an organization win for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be taking a job with Kim and you know, helping her putting a roster together. I think I could do that for sure.
See, I got two smart guys.
Is the guy with all the pins? Does he still go to all the Marlins games?
Yeah, he's still coming. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just sit next to him. Maybe I'll just sit next to him, bro. That guy was going in the 90s when I was going, and I remember in 2016 when we opened up against the Marlins with Detroit, you know, that guy was still there, and I'm just like, man.
Yeah, the guy's still bringing there.
That guy's my idol.
Man. Yeah.
That's awesome. Nick, do you have a bet with my buddy Jesse Winker about who's going to finish with higher average? You better.
Do we have a bet? No.
Yeah.
We don't have a bet. And honestly, this is going to sound stupid, but we never talk about it. And nor do we, I think, really care that much about it because, you know, Jesse also wants to win for the organization that drafted him just as much as, you know, I do. And we also really understand that, like, I hope if he hits 400 and I hit 399 and we go deep into the playoff race for the city of Cincinnati, I am a happy camper.
It'd be pretty good. I'll sign up for 399 right now too. That ain't bad.
Shit.
Nick, you have been more than generous with your time. Dude, I hope you had a good time. It was great catching up with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bro,
man.
thank you. Thank you very much for doing this, bro.
Yeah, keep hitting that ball, man. Keep doing your thing.
Later.
I think you would be hard-pressed, Miguel Rojas, to find a more honest person in baseball than Nick Castellanos. I loved what he said about a wide range of topics.
He's not afraid to speak his mind, and you know, like, it's hard not to agree with him when he talk about baseball and when he talk about the stuff that is real. You know, all that he talk about is real, and it's not like trying to make anybody please anybody. You know, that's one of the things that I take from that conversation, and a lot of guys should have taken from that conversation. When you play in pro baseball for the first couple months or for the first year, don't try to please anybody. Just be yourself and be the best player that you can be.
It's a hard lesson, though. It really is, because you get so many voices in your head, and he made no bones about it. He said he is the player today because he stripped down all the clutter. I mean, we laughed at him that he doesn't have a smartphone and he's got a flip phone, but there is a method to what he's talking about here.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why you got to be true to yourself and know that the things that are going to work for you and the things that are not going to work for you, because not everything is going to work, you know. Then you have to be accountable and know what you need to do to get better, for sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, I screwed up your homework assignment last time. Do you remember? It was right before you came out to LA, and our schedules just didn't mesh. So that was really,
you don't have to take all responsibility, because it was on me too. You know, it was a hard schedule in LA. You know, I have to see my accountant there, and I mean,
yeah. By the way, how'd that go? How'd the meeting with the financial advisor go?
It went well. It went well. You know, like, it's always good to talk to your people that are in the West, especially in the West Coast, that you always talk to them on the phone, but it's always good to see in person and put a plan together. That's part of being a professional athlete, man. You have to take care of your finances and all the stuff that is around you. You know, like, you have to have core awareness and know that it's not just about playing baseball. It's about growing your brand and keep growing as a person and doing all the stuff.
Yeah, there's no question. It's interesting, by the way. So you travel to LA to meet with your financial advisor, and my financial advisor is in Miami. It's actually Mike Lowell's brother. How you like
what
that?
Are we doing? Okay, I gonna send you my financial guy number, and you send me my Lowell's brother, so we can trade.
See, I'm sure your person's great. I'm not going to give it up because it sends me a honey baked ham every year for the holidays. And I'm not giving that up. I mean, I'm staying in the financial world just for the honey baked ham.
Okay, I like it. Fair enough. All
right, so listen, because I take responsibility for not meeting, you came to my town, even though you started your major league career in LA. This is where I live. I've lived here for 22 years. I screwed that up. You don't even have a homework assignment. So really the homework assignment's going to be on me when that jersey and hat arrive. So I will do Mrs. Rose's homework assignment for you. How's that sound?
Sounds good. That sounds good to me, because I'm probably going to be here in Miami for a couple more weeks, you know, before I get ready for to return. But I mean, I like it. As soon as let's do this. I know you've been doing this Instagram live. Early in the mornings, right? So when you walk around that morning, I want you to call me on Instagram live so we can talk and
you want to be a part of the party.
I want to be part of the party that morning.
One day we'll do a special guest Miguel Rojas appearance. It's at 11:30 Eastern every morning. You can do that.
I've been watching. I've been seeing it, and I know you guys doing it on the Chris Rose account and the Jomboy. So
yeah,
I'll be there.
Hey, real quick, does Plouffe know what he's talking about, or is he crazy?
No, he's good. He's good. I mean, you can find a better guy to explain things that they're going on and happening when you play more than over 10 years in the big leagues, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it all. You know, he's smart. Yeah. He seemed like a good teammate back in the day. He's good looking. Like, he's got a lot going for him. It's hard working with him, to be honest.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
Yeah. All right, you got anything you want to show us off in the locker before you got to go?
I want something. I want something right now. Andy, come here. This is our starting third baseman, Brian Anderson. I want to show you guys.
What's going on?
Wait, what's he doing there? Oh, he's hurt too. He got his shoulder. Yeah, throw those on.
Yeah, he's rehabbing his shoulder for.
Hey, Brian, Chris Rose, how you feeling, man?
Hi, good. I'm getting better. Getting better each day. About to go get a workout in.
Okay, good. Now, Miggy told us that when you put on the Sugar Canes uniforms, that you played like Mike Schmidt at third base. So, do you think you should be wearing those the rest of the year?
Absolutely. Obviously not an everyday thing, but definitely a weekend here or there for sure. Yeah, I think everyone liked the colors and all that too.
He said that you're kind of
need to get the swagger up.
Yeah,
from every other day, like not just for the Sugar Kings. I think the red it goes really good with
any theme jerseys. I think I got to be hitting like 500 in those. So
you're in. Yeah. And by the 100%. Way, he's sending me a jersey, and he thinks that me at 50 years old that I could pull off a swag swaggy look with the hat and
100%.
that jersey. Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you can do it for
no
sure.
doubt.
That's awesome. Brian, get healthy. We need you back out there. You guys are a fun left side of the infield.
Yep, will do. Thank you.
See ya.
That was something that I want to show you in my
was
locker
good.
room. Like, what's better than a big league player? You know,
Nothing.
another co-host or another guest in
No,
our show.
nothing. Not even another pair of Jordans. Well, maybe.
well, I have a lot of shoes here. You know,
You serious?
know
How
it is.
many shoes do you have there?
So okay, let me show you real quick. So there's
Oh
all
my
my
Miggy.
clicks. I don't know if you guys saw what I'm doing now. You know, these so players who have their own shoe, I'm actually like asking them if I can have a pair, you know. So I have Mookie Betts when I went to LA, I asked Mookie for a pair. So Mookie gave me this Jordans that he's wearing this year. This one is a really exciting pair that I got from Marcus Stroman. He actually signed it for me, and he dedicated to Miggy. He climbing through adversity.
I love
mean,
that.
what better message than that right now, you know? I got the Harper's Fives in blue and white with the neon details. So I wear this pair against the Phillies the last series that I play over there, and I hit a homer against Harper playing right, and it was amazing. So
Hey,
just a
I'm going to give you a
pairs.
suggestion. See, I love it when guys sign stuff. Keep a Sharpie like T.O. used to do when he'd score touchdowns. Keep a Sharpie out with you on the field. So if Harper hits a double and you're wearing those, just have him sign it at second base.
Having signed at second base, that's a good idea. I'm gonna keep a Sharpie on my back pocket for sure.
Mm-hmm. Just in case. I mean, you know, you don't want to bother him before the game and stuff. But I would say if there's a pitching change or something, or
or something like that.
Yeah, if there's a meeting at the mound you don't have to be a part of. Okay.
Man, that's a good idea. I think we're gonna get a lot of views and a lot of content from that.
See, just always thinking, just here to
I
help
like
out.
it. I like it, man. I like it.
All right, listen, do you have a
I'm gonna do
time
that.
frame on your finger? When can we expect you out on the diamond?
Man, if you ask me, I'll be there next week. But I mean, it's not my call. You know, I have to see I have to see a doctor again on Monday, and he's gonna actually clear me out for activities, which mean like whatever I can tolerate, I can go. But remember, like the organization is the ones making that decision.
Yeah.
You have to go to a rehab assignment, and I'm probably gonna have to get a couple of bats before I get back. So it's not on me. Like I say, if it's on me, I will work hard to get this swelling out, and I will play with this on if I need to, you know. But that's not on me.
Listen, in the meantime, take a deep breath, enjoy your family. I know you guys don't get to spend enough time with your young kids and your wife during the season. So look at it as a positive that, you know, so at least you get to do that. And I know you miss your teammates and you love your team and all that sort of stuff, but man, just try to look at it that way. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Chris. And that's the way that I'm trying to go. So,
Dude, you're the best around. I cannot wait to see my Rose 14 Sugar Canes jersey. I will wear it proudly and swaggishly.
Let's do that.
100%. Right. We'll see you in a few weeks. Get healthy. Take care of that digit. And we will see everybody next time on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of Jomboy Media.